Welcome to Spiritual Leadership Coaching and Mentoring. We are on lesson number 7. Can you believe it? We are almost at the end of the lesson. This is the final lesson that we have on this topic, on spiritual leadership. I hope you have enjoyed the journey. I hope you have learned something. I hope that you would have picked up something. It may be one or two things that you could actually apply in your own life with regards to leadership. Because this is about leadership. This is about growth. This is about being a better human being. And today, we are on the final lesson on destiny. Destiny. I want to read a quote to kick us off. Hope you are tuned in. And it says, the fact that you are creating your destiny every moment, whether you know it or not. Let me read that again. It says, the fact is you are creating your destiny every moment, whether you know it or not. Have you thought about that quote? That you are creating your destiny every moment of your life. Every moment of your life. I want to read another quote. Success is never an accident. Do you want to be successful? Do you want to do great things in life? Have you asked that question yourself? Do you want to go further in life than where you are right now? It says, success is never an accident. It has strategy behind it. It has a plan behind it. It has a thought process behind it when it comes to success. I'm sure you know a lot of people that are successful. I bet you they had a plan. They had a mindset that this is where they're aiming their life at. This is where they want to be going in life. And today we are looking at destiny. Destiny, this is a big word. It gets thrown around a lot with regards to people and potential. I want to be unpacking this word with you. So if you have your pen, if you have your paper, take notes that might be of use to you. Whatever that stands out to you, take notes. I want to share 3 things with you with regards to destiny. In the book of the Bible, it talks about, and we know in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His plan and His purpose. Did you know that not everything that happens in your life is actually good? Not everything that happens in your life is actually good. And as we look at this subject of destiny on the last lesson, I want to unpack it with 3 words. Number 1, journey. Number 1, journey. Number 2, decision. Number 2, decision. Number 3, service. So these 3 words, I feel, that kind of gives you an understanding on what destiny is all about and what you are meant to be doing on this earth. And if you haven't listened to the previous lessons, go back and listen to it. They are on YouTube, as on all our social media platforms. So let's go with journey. Number 1 is journey. Let me share a story with you. Do you guys like story? Let me take you on a journey of Jonah. There's a guy in the Bible called Jonah, and he was meant to do something that God wanted him to do. But he decided not to go that direction. He said, no, I'm not having a bar of this. I don't want to go this way. I want to have my own plans. I want to go that way. Forget about you, God. I have my own mind. I have my own free will. This is what I'm going to do. So he decided to go in a different direction. He encountered trouble. He was on a ship, and they were trying to find out, why is this happening? Why are they in trouble? Why is the ship shaking? Why are the waves in a different direction? They're going up and down. The sea wasn't smooth as soon as he jumped on board. So they wanted to find out who was the cause of this issue. And they identified it was Jonah. This guy was the problem, that they're going to die themselves because of this guy. And this ship was going in a direction, and this guy jumped on the ship, and he made things worse for everybody else. And this guy was the problem. So what did they do? They throw him overboard because they did not want to die. So they threw him overboard, and he was caught by a whale. And the whale swallowed him up, and he was in the whale, and he prayed desperate prayer, like as you do sometimes. And he said, God, get me out of this whale. And then the whale spits him out on the seashore. And then he decided that I want to go back to what God had told him to do, that this is what God had for me in his original plan. And on this journey, he was going in one direction, then he went in another direction, which was completely in the opposite direction to what he was meant to be doing. But he carried on. He carried on doing whatever he wanted to do. In life, destiny is associated with your journey. It's a long haul journey. It's like a long haul flight. Are you on that long haul flight? Whatever you're meant to be doing, whatever you're meant to be doing right now, are you doing what you're meant to be doing? Are you doing what you're meant to be doing? Because destiny is a long journey. Just like Jonah was on a direction, eventually he came back around and he did what God wanted him to do. What about your own life? Are you committed to the long haul journey, or are you just constantly changing this direction, that direction? Imagine if you're following a leader, and do you think that they have a destiny mindset? Do you think that they have a destiny mindset? Because you want to be following people that have qualities that are going to take you further than where you are. That's what a leader does. When you are under someone that you should go and you should progress in life, you should be further than where you are towards your destiny, your own personal goals and visions. Have you thought about that? Because that is what destiny is. Destiny is a long haul journey that you and I go on. Regardless of what goes on in our world, we need to have that mindset that this is my destiny. This is where I'm going, and I am committed to this long haul journey. Because if you don't, you're going to quit in halfway. You're going to go back to your history. You're going to go back to your history and say, this is what I was doing before. I want to go back to my familiarity. I want to go back to my old ways. Because destiny inside of you starts stirring you and pushing you forward into the things that you have set your mind to. And when you do that, you are setting yourself on this long haul flight. It's like you're jumping on the train that you are wanting to go towards. And when you know that God has called you, when you know that you are meant to do something significant in this life, that you are not an accident, then you will know that you are part of God's destiny. That is journey. So number one is journey. We just discussed journey. Number two is decision. We talk about destiny as like this big glamorous word. This guy's got a big destiny. This guy's got a big potential. But I feel this destiny is associated with this thing called decision. Just like we read this quote earlier, you're creating, the fact is that you are creating your destiny every moment, whether you know it or not. My friend, you are creating your own destiny, whether you know it or not, every moment of your life. When you unpack every moment, I feel it's actually every decision. Every decision. Because the decision that you make today will have an impact and a consequence 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line. Let's say that you want to lose weight. And that is the decision that you make today. And you say, this is the decision that I make today. I want to be healthy and I want to be strong as a human. I don't want to be stuck behind. I don't want to be unhealthy. I want to live a long and prosperous life. And that is the decision that you make. But once you make the decision, you write it down on a paper. You are committing your life to your destiny. You are committing your life to your destiny. It might seem like such a simple thought, a simple act. But I feel destiny is associated with decision. You look at anyone in life that has been successful, they chose to be successful. They chose to be successful. They decided they are not going to stay where they are at. They are not going to stay the same person 5 years down the line. They're not going to be the same person 2 years down the line. Whatever that decision is, spiritual leadership, as a leader, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. And that decision will define you further down the line. The decision that you make today will have an impact on your future, whether good or bad. Because if you make a bad decision, you can't avoid the consequences from those decisions. Nobody can. You will reap the consequences. whatever those decisions might be. So think about your decision. How is your decision making? Is that decision making focused? Do you have all the facts? Do you have all the information? Do you have the right wisdom with regards to making the decision? What about you, my friend? You might be saying, Andrew, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of bad choices. I have shipwrecked my life with poor decision making. But I came to remind you today that you are not your past decision. You can still choose today to make the right decision that's going to give you life. That's going to give you joy. That's going to give you peace. That's going to give you strength. That's going to give you courage. That's going to settle your heart's desire. Imagine you live every day knowing that you have made the best decision, that you have made a fantastic decision, because you know in your heart that you are a leader. You know in your heart that you are going somewhere. The people that are going somewhere have made a decision, because success is never an accident. Nobody is just born out of the thin air and had been successful. No. Every athlete, for example, they choose to train. They choose to work hard. They choose to exercise their faith. They choose to believe, because it is part of their destiny. Just because they're good at what they do, they can't just be lazy. It's not going to happen like that. As a leader, as a person that want to influence and change the world, you got to think about this word, decision. Number 2 is decision. What are you doing right now? What decisions that you need to make right now in your life that you need to say no more? As we are coming to the end of this year, no more. Even if you're watching in future, no more. I do not want to be broke. I do not want to live this life of less than. What about you? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Nobody can take that for you. Nobody is responsible for your choices. Sometimes we want to blame the government, blame the leaders above us, blame a lot of things, the system, but no. At the end of the day, you and I have been given free will. You and I have been given the choice of life, the freedom to choose. And when you choose well, your life will go well. When you choose well, the life you will live 10 years down the line, you'll be laughing away. You'll be so excited, because the decision that you make today is going to give you strength. It's going to fuel your heart. You're going to get your excitement back. You're going to get your passion back. You're going to get your life back, because you are making the right decision. Number 1, we had just talked about earlier, was a journey. Number 2 is decision, because decisions will impact the rest of your life. The choice that you make today. Because if you think about it, the person that started smoking cigarette, they thought it was just doing it for fun. Eventually, the decision that they made to smoke had caught up, and then some people are addicted to this cigarette. That little cigarette is controlling their life. It's because of the decision that they chose to do. They chose to act. And that decision, one decision that they made long time ago, is having a negative impact on their health. I'm just giving you an example with regards to the power of decision. The power of decision. Because you are more powerful than you really think. You are more powerful than you really think. You're not a victim. You are a victor. You are a victor. Amen. Number 3 is service. Number 3 is service. When I associate destiny, I'm thinking about service. Service. Why do I say service? You think about Jesus. Jesus came to this earth to serve the world. He did not come to condemn the world. He came to serve. As an example, he was washing the feet of disciples. They were smelly feet. He chose to serve. The greatest people on this planet are the ones that serve. The greatest people that on this planet are the ones that will give their life for somebody else. These are the greatest people because they choose to serve. When you serve, you are changing the world. You are changing the world because the potential inside of you is coming out. Imagine if Jesus said, I'm too high. I'm right up there. I'm God. I do not need to serve you. Go find somebody else to wash your feet. No. Jesus chose the low road and he took a bowl in some water and some towel, and he started washing each disciple's feet. Imagine that. Servant leadership. Servant leadership. That will put you in a place where you are going to have an impact. Because that's what leaders do. Leaders impact the world. Leaders change the nations. Leaders change communities. Leaders do things to enlarge the people, give them hope, give them strength, carry them through their difficulties, carry them through their hardship. Because as a leader, you have got your mindset. You are going somewhere. You're not thinking wishy-washy. And when you are a person of destiny, you got to go after it. You got to go after it. You can't be based on your feelings. You can't be like when you get up in the morning, you can't be wondering, what am I going to do today? I just woke up. I'm just going to do, I do not know what I'm doing today. No. Every person has been given 24 hours a day, and the people that maximize it are the ones that have got a strategy, are the ones that are going somewhere. Then they have got a plan in place. They have made up their mind that they are committing their life to this long-haul journey, that they are committed to making the right decision, that they know that they can go where they want to go if they make a choice today. If they make a choice today. Because your destiny is in your hands. Because the choices that you make will have an impact on the rest of your life. As I was reading that quote earlier, the fact is that you are creating your destiny whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not. Without you knowing it, you might be creating chaos in your life. You might be creating dysfunction in your life. As a leader, you do not want to be doing that. You want to be making choices that are going to take everyone that's under you to a new place. Just like a ship that's going to a place, a destination. When you jump on that ship, you know that you're going to destination B. You don't know how, but you are leaving your hands in the captain that has got the rudder and they're changing direction. Same with life. Same with life. And if you think about service, even the Bible says the greatest people on this earth are the ones that serve. Because by serving people, you are giving yourself to them. These are the talents, these are the gifts that I have. And when you serve them, you're going to lift them up. You're going to take them higher and higher. You're going to take them to a new place. They'll be like, wow, I didn't know I had this potential inside of me. You are tapping into people's potential when you serve them. You're tapping into people's potential. You are reminding them that you could do something like that. You could do something like that. Imagine that. When you're operating out of your gift and your talents and you use the gifts and the talent to serve others, that's going to change the world. And I know the reason why you're watching this is because you are a leader. You want to change the world. You believe in your heart there's more to life. There's more to life. Don't just sit around. We might be in a pandemic right now. Don't let that limit you. Don't let that stop you from growing. Don't let that put limitations on your mind. You are greater than that. You are greater than what the pandemic is going around. You have so many things going for you. And sometimes we forget. I want to remind you this thing, every single person has got a destiny. And every single person is a leader. Whether they know it or not, you are all leading in some capacity. You might be leading in fashion. You might be leading in your family. You might be leading in ministry. You might be leading in your work. You might be leading in an area where you are responsible. Whatever your leading capacity is, you are a leader. You are a leader. I believe it. Just because you do not have an online presence or not everyone knows about it, doesn't matter. You are all leaders. But in some capacity, some have got a bigger responsibility. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Some have more responsibility. You might be leading a company. You might be leading an executive. Whatever it is, you are a leader. Because a lot of people confuse destiny with the wrong concept. As I has unpacked it, this destiny has three things associated with it. Number one, journey. Journey. Number two, decision. Number three, service. These three things are the critical components of destiny. These three things are critical components of destiny. Journey, if I in summary, I want to remind you, journey, you're committing yourself to the long haul flight. You're committing yourself to the long haul. You're not wishy-washy. You are committing yourself. This is where I'm going, and I'm committing myself to it. Whatever comes, hell or high water, I am committing to this thing that I want to be doing. Whatever that thing is, you might be different. It might be different for each person. But whatever that is, you're committing to the long haul journey. Number 2, decision. The decisions that you make today will have an impact on your tomorrow. So have the right information and make decisions that will give you fruit in the years to come. Make decisions that will give you an amazing thought where you are making a decision. You are choosing to make a decision to be successful. Because as I was saying earlier, success is never an accident. The people that are successful have made a decision to be successful, whether by reading books, going on online tutorials, whatever there is, they're growing. So you are choosing to grow as a person. So make decisions that will reward you in your future. So destiny is associated with decision. Because if you make poor choices, you're going to reap those poor choices' consequences. If you make wise decisions, you're going to laugh your way out. You're going to be like, wow, I made that fantastic choice and I'm reaping the benefits of it. So number 2 is decision. Number 3 in last is service. When you have those two combined, you're committing yourself to the long haul journey, you're making good decisions. Once you make the decision, you're going to serve people. Because when you decide to serve people, you are changing their life. You are tapping into people's potential and reminding them that there is greater, that they are meant to do great things in life. And as a leader, when you serve, you are expanding their mind, you are expanding their thinking, you are expanding their heart to know that there is more to life than what they are experiencing. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad that you have joined me for the last 7 days. Hope you are blessed. Hope you're inspired. I hope you're encouraged. And please, if you have been blessed, share it with your friends and your family. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.